Alright, so I'm feeling resistance to go live, which means I need to be going live because I've been putting it off for about the last 3 hours here. And so I was just sitting in prayer trying to receive the message of what to read on today. And what I get is that it is going to be open. It is going to be open to whoever comes, whatever energy is going to be here today. I am trying to receive where I'm going to start here. What are going to be my tools that we are going to get into? I'm not feeling to pick up the cards right now, so this is just really interesting. As I was praying, though, I did get the name Tim, truck driver Tim. So again, I'm not very certain on how that plays out just yet. Are we going to meet someone named Tim? Is there someone who is married to a truck driver named Tim? I don't know. But I just wanted to feel the energies of the room before we get started. So let me tune in. I'm feeling like there needs to be a calm. We're just having so much anxiety that people are in need of calm, of safety, of a space to just take a deep breath. I'm hearing the words relax. This isn't your battle. And the battle is already won. So take this time to rekindle your own light. To lean into your creativity. To explore the world with curiosity. And to find those moments to just breathe. It's imperative that we return to center. That you spend this time getting to know yourself instead of trying to do, go, go, go. Be in the silence of this moment, even when the moment feels loud. Find a few moments to lean into the stillness of the day, to just listen to the wind, to hear the birds chirping or the crickets sounding crickety. I don't know. I think they chirp too. So either grab this time in the wee hours of the morning when the sun itself is just beginning to break over the horizon, when the birds wake up first and start tweeting out their good mornings and their hellos. Or as the dusk begins to claim the night, as the dusk begins to transition into night. Find your moments of stillness to just breathe. And to calm back. said calm back, but come back to center. It is imperative that you find your joy again. And it's not lost, it's just buried. Under all the expectations, under all the doubt, under all the fear, under all the expectations, under all the doubt, under all the fear, under all the anxiety, under all the stresses that being an adult heaped upon your own shoulders. Push them off to the side, even if just for a moment, and reclaim your joy. Be a part of the stillness. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in joy and peace and serenity. Breathe out stress, anxiety, and worry. Come back to center. All right, so that's the message we're starting with. And I heard the question, how do we do that? So let's get into how we do that. And now I feel the desire to pick up the cards. Okay, so we are going to start with the Faces of Oshun. These are my favorite cards to get a tone. How do we come back to center? I'm getting goosebumps. I don't know if you can see them, but that tells me, like, y'all see how a little raised. Oh, and a cat scratch. But that tells me that we're on the right path with today's reading, today's messaging. And I do have a spirit who just nudged my little head, my little mind, to say, hey, I'm here too. And so we will allow for that in a moment. But first, let's get into understanding how we get back to center. How do we get back to ourselves? How do we find those moments of joy? How do we just reclaim who we are in the midst of people telling us who we are? In the midst of all this chaos, of all this division, of all this hate, of all this fear, of all this misalignment, how do we come back to center? How do we come back to center? Hold on. Let me get some reversals in here, because that's going to tell us what we're not working on, what we need to work on. How do we get back to center? To center. How do we get back to center? How do we get back to center? Oh, there we go. Is there another one? Okay. There is. Hold on. All right. How do we get back to center? This feels like purpose right now. The card that just, I'm going to show you so that you don't think I did anything funny. This is the card that just fell out, but we'll talk about that in just a second. But that feels like purpose. That feels like how you've been showing up, actually. So even though you have been in misalignment, it hasn't all been misaligned. So I need you to know that right now. It hasn't all been out of sorts. There are things to pick up in what you've just been through. Alrighty. How we get back to center? Is there another one? No. All right, so the two cards that just popped out now, this one went first, and so this one is Oshun Ase, and that's upside down, or reversed, and then we have Oshun of the soil. That's really interesting because as I was doing that quick, I want to say meditation, but really just a moment of breathing. I pictured, and I'm going to say it the way that the kids used to say it. I pictured you needing to go touch grass. Thanks so much for the likes and shares. I pictured you needing to touch grass, meaning to go outside and get grounded. To feel the electricity, the currents, the renewal of the earth underneath your feet. You have to do it barefoot. You can't do it in shoes. And to just reconnect with not the earth, but the spirit of the world, the spirit of the earth, the spirit, the light, the energy that pulses through everything here on this planet and beyond. So you need to take those moments, those snatches of quiet, those snatches of calm and peace to return to center. Take it outside and put your feet on the ground, not on cement, on grass, on ground, so that you and the earth can reconnect. You and the energy of the earth can reconnect. So let's get into the overarching theme here of your reading. And so we have Oshun Healing Sage. So what I got before is that this is how you have been showing up. And in doing so, this is what has been burning you out. However, as I said, this also tells me that you weren't completely out of alignment. You just weren't giving to yourself. Again, thank you so much for the likes and shares. So Oshun of Healing Sage, this is restoration, compassion, compassion, but it's the wounded healer part that let me know that you, again, are on the right path. You're just slightly off. You're slightly off. So you're not totally misaligned. You're just slightly off. There's like a little pivot or even just a little pause that needs to happen in this moment for you to recalibrate and to be fully in alignment here. But the other thing that I'm seeing here though, okay. I'm getting that this is generational. One. So this is generational. As you can see, there's a young child here, and then there's a reflection of that child. So again, I'm getting that it's generational. So there are healing powers throughout your family, but I will say that some of it has been weaponized. I can feel that for you. Some of that has been weaponized through the church, through spiritual practice, through just the strictness that restricted you from becoming who you wholly are, simply because of the fear that they allowed to bind their lineage, their generation. Okay? So there is a generational thing to this, but it's also still in this lifetime with you, because there's your reflection, right? So yes, you have the lineage with being passed down into your family, not only the giftings, but also the restrictions, the generational curses, the generational blessings. Those things come down for you. And if you see, it's circular, so it's cyclical. So it keeps coming and coming and coming, even though it feels like it's going away. But it's not bad. If you notice, you are fully surrounded here by the ancestors, one, right? So yes, this is a generational thing that you have to break through, where rest is productive, where rest is not a luxury, where rest is allowed, right? And I'm using rest because, first of all, that's what came up here. But second of all, and I guess this is thematically the phrase, is that you don't have to do anything to be worthy. You've already been worthy. Kelly, just put your question in the comments and I will respond. We'll try to get one going in just a second here. So that's what I'm getting here. And like I said, you've been showing up. You are the wounded healer. I'll have to read that over again. But you were showing up. You are the wounded healer. So you've been showing up for everyone else, but you've left yourself out of it. And that requires you to heal the younger self, to heal the younger child, to heal the younger reflection of you. And that's going to, like I said, be childhood, yes, but also that young adulthood. You have some wounding here that was done by other people, but it was also done by you. It was also done by you because you didn't trust your own voice, you didn't trust your own choices, and you did not speak up for yourself. However, that said, it's not that you had all the equipment to do so. So in this moment, if you are listening to me, whether on replay or even now, in this moment, I want you to actually vocalize, to emote that I forgive myself. I forgive myself for blaming myself for making decisions when I didn't even have all the tools. I forgive myself for taking on the blame of what happened to me, or on the blame of all the choices that I made, because I did not even have all the tools. So you did the best you could with what you had, and that was okay. One of you out here has some apologizing to do. Not just to yourself, but to the person you used to be. To the people you hurt in the space, in the place of the person you used to be. And if you are not able to do that in person, you do that through energy. So write a letter of apology for the hurts you've caused other people in your own brokenness. Because the power of a healer is also the power of a, I'm going to just say this word here, but breaker. Okay? Just like you can heal and give positive energy, you can also put out bad, negative, we'll figure out a word there. And what I'm getting is, at least one of you here, you have given the bad. Through your wounds, through your own bleeding, you have cut other people. And if you can't tell them out loud, tell their spirit, tell their soul. Write your apologies out so that it's an energetic thing. And again, do it while touching grass. Get your feet grounded so that this energy can transmute and go into wherever it needs to go. But you've got apologizing to do. And it didn't make you a bad person. It made you someone who didn't have all the tools they needed to be the healer that you are to be. So that's your wound, and your wound allowed you to cut other people. But I want you to understand there's so much forgiveness here. There's so much forgiveness here, and there's so much protection here, and there's so much love here, and there's so much growth left to be done. Look at all that greenery. You do not have to keep yourself chained to a life of poverty, which may not be financial, but it could be spiritual. It could be relational poverty. You are allowed to let that go. You are allowed to forgive yourself for your own decisions and to then move into your own purpose. And when you write that letter, and y'all see here, I didn't even notice that. All that energy here, like I said, that energy is with you. But when you write that letter, I want you to put it in a bowl, and I want you to set it aflame so that you can let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Beautiful. All right, so that's how you've been operating, right? You've been operating from the space of a wounded healer. You are getting better, but you carry that past with you of hurting people, of making mistakes, of whatever it is that you need to forgive yourself for. And I'm telling you now, put those burdens down. They're not yours to keep carrying. They're yours to forgive yourself for having, and to understand you didn't have all the tools, but you can choose better now. Okay? So that brings us to what's going on here. The thing that you need to be focusing on, and this followed, right? Because in the reversals, this is what we need to focus on. And we have Oshun Ase. And those words there are worthiness, self-worth, and self-respect. Honey, this is where the power is. This is where the power and the problem is. You're in a space and a place of where your purpose is, I was going to say waiting for you, but it's been under your feet the whole time. It's been waiting for you to notice it. It's been waiting for you to say, I accept. It's been waiting for you to say, I am worthy of it. And until you're able to say that, we're going to have a problem where we're repeating the same cycles over and over and over again. So what you're going to do here is you're going to work on this particular part. You're going to work on rebuilding your self-respect. How do you do that? Own up to your shit. Own up to the problems you've caused. Own up to the dirt that you've put on other people. And own up to the hurt and the bondage to a past that no longer serves you, so that you can then let it go. So, if you look here in the upright, thank you guys so much for your gifts and your shares. Again, if you have a question, drop it in the comments below and we will get to it. But if you look at this, in the upright, this is where she's adorning herself in things that are to make her feel better. But what I'm getting from this is that it is for show. So I just saw you. You look good. You look good. You look like you're supposed to. You are dressed well. You walk, and I hear like the click clack. Like you go through life. You're successful by the accounts of other people, and you feel kind of like an imposter in your life. You feel like you actually don't deserve it, and part of that creates this meanness about you that you put on other people because you really have it for yourself. And this is why we've got to let that go. This is why we've got to forgive our past. This is why we've got to say our apologies and own our story. And this is why we have to burn that shit and let it go up into the energy, the atmosphere, whatever it needs to do, so that it can be returned. Those energies, the hurts, all those things can be turned to where it needs to go. But for you, so you can also release yours. And the other thing too is we have the elephant here, right? And so, the elephant is this very symbolic creature in different countries and things. But there's this one elephant, and I don't know if you guys heard the story, but it like went all over social media, I think last year or so. But there's an elephant that never forgot how this woman treated her offspring, because elephants carry babies for like 18 months, and this woman used to abuse this elephant's children and give them away, and this elephant never forgot her. And then when this lady died, that elephant walked hundreds of miles to her funeral and stomped the shit out of her. And then her herd of elephants went to that lady's house and wrecked crap all over that house. Broke the house up, because the elephant doesn't forget the wrongs, especially when no retribution is made. So you see, you've been holding on to things that you have got to let go. You have been holding on to things that people have done to you that you have got to let go. But you're also holding on to the things that you've done to other people, and you've tried to justify it. I got to get them before they get me. But you are creating your own demise, because you're creating other elephants that want to see you fail. Now, if you want to be back in alignment, get all the way back into alignment, forgive yourself, release it. And then, I'm not into forgiving other people. I'm really not. I think only God, the creator, whatever you call him, can do that. That's their own journey. So I'm not really into forgiving people, but I can release the hold they have over me. But the person who needs to be forgiven the most is always the one who looks back in the mirror. So your forgiveness is for you. It literally is. And that's what needs to happen. All right. And then finally here, and I'm going to tell you, once you do that, once you rebuild your self-worth, once you start, and I'm telling you this, let me tell you this, because once you break your own trust, it's hard to get back. So the way to get it back is to stop breaking your own trust. So when you say you're going to do something, show up and do it. When you say you're going to be there, be there. When you say you're going to, and I'm talking about for you. I'm not even talking about for anybody else, because the trust that you have with yourself is more valuable than the trust that you have with other people, etc. So whatever you say you're going to do, I'm going to eat better, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to call them and apologize, I'm going to write the letter like she just said to do, I'm going to work on forgiving myself, I'm going to go outside, touch grass, and bond and get that energy flowing. Whatever you're saying I'm going to do, the way to rebuild your trust and your own self-respect is to actually do it. So don't make any promises you can't keep right now. Start small. Start small. Like, I'll write the letter. Do that. Right? And then once you do that, next thing, get bigger and bigger. But always remember, your self-respect, your self-worth, and your own trust is more valuable than anything else. Because this is going to bring you back to this. And this is why I'm saying that touch grass part. Like I said, you're not totally out of alignment. You're slightly misaligned because you're holding on to stuff that doesn't work for you anymore. You're holding on to stuff that you've got to let go. And in order to do that, in order to come back to center, in order to find your peace in the midst of all this chaos, this is going to require you to ground. This is what I'm saying. Go touch grass, right? To ground, to find your stability within yourself. And again, that's going to go back to the self-respect. That's going to go back to healing the wounds that are cutting other people and yourself. But it's also the nurturing, right? And the nurturing part of this is, again, self. This is going to be self-nurturing, but it can also be a symbolic type of nurturing. So like, for instance, you can get a plant or a fish, something easy to take care of, and begin to nurture that to life, right? That way you can see yourself actually back in creation mode. And the other part about that too is, like I said, you do have to find your moments of stillness. You have to steal your own joy early in the morning or when the world gets quiet at night. You go and you spend 5 to 10 minutes alone with you, with yourself. And I know for some people, y'all can't handle that. The pandemic had y'all going crazy. What? I gotta be by myself? Yes. Yes. You have to enjoy your own company. And how do you get there? Just sit in the quiet, sit in the stillness. And when your thoughts race, let it. When the tears fall, let them. And when you feel like there's something that you need to say, write it out. Say it. My life does not have any of the content that you're saying. Okay. I keep getting whatever. And so in doing that, that's how you'll come back to center. Taking the time, taking the moments to just snatch some time for yourself. But again, if you can't sit with yourself, that's because you haven't done the other work. So please do that other work. And that is how you will come back to center. So I have one more message for you on top of that. And let me see what it is. What am I getting? Okay, I just got like Barbara. But you call her Barb. You call her Barb. She calls you Barb. I don't know. Hold on. I can't talk right now. Let me get this going. Alright. What is the final message of returning to center? What is the final message? I'm getting that was the final message. The healing, the self-healing, the rebuilding of your own trust, your own respect, the snatching of moments just for peace, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and allowing and putting a boundary around that time, and just allowing your mind to flow. Your mind is allowed to go free. It is allowed to have racing thoughts. That's fine. That means the thing works, right? But when you find that those thoughts are spiraling you down, and it may do that, what you do is then you do focus on your breath. And you take in a deep breath so that your stomach expands. You need it deep enough so that your stomach expands. You hold it for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then you let it go. Don't even control the breath. Don't control the breath on the way out. Let it go. Let your shoulders drop. because what you're doing is you're letting go of stress in that moment. And you repeat it. You do like 2 or 3 times. And you'll find that your thoughts will slow down. They will slow down. All right. Are you sure there's no more message? Okay. I heard, I'm sure. All right, cool. So, well, let me just choose one to close it out. And this one. Haha. All right. So, you are the magician. You are the magician. You get to create your own reality. Everything you need is already within you, as we have just said. So you get to create your own reality, and yet you're not, right? Because you're waiting for someone else to do that. You're waiting to be satisfied with outside validation, outside material items, but everything you need is right there. And again, go touch grass. Take moments to be with yourself, to explore who you are, and understand that everything you think can come true. Because you are the magician. You are a person who is a manifester. And so your manifestation is going to require some work. Start thinking about what you want and less about what you don't want. Because you live the life you don't want. You've seen the life you don't want. You keep attracting the life you don't want. You're not satisfied with the life you do have because you're focusing on what you don't want. Focus on what you do want. Create more energy for those things. But again, you're not going to get it because you don't feel worthy. So that's where the work is. The work is in rebuilding your own worth. So get in that mirror, face those reflections, forgive yourself for any things that you have done, and make amends with it. Again, if you can't do that face-to-face with people, then I need you to do that by writing a letter, a sincere letter, and then putting it in a bowl and lighting it up so that the energy of your intention carries far. All right. What was that question you had, Kelly? Anyone else with a question, please put it in the comments and we'll get to that. What do you mean by Anna is the type of man? I wrote minute. I don't understand that question. I don't understand that question. Because the Anna is throwing me off. Anna and man. So, can you hold on? I'm not understanding that question. Is the type of man. I wrote manifestation for coming soon. Oh, is the type of man. Why does it say Anna? Is the type of man. I wrote manifestation for. I will tell you soon is relative. All right. So soon is relative. And by that, I mean, I'm hearing have patience. It's not going to be in your timing. Let's put it that way. So if you're like, am I going to meet him this year? That's not going to be what's happening. So soon is relative. But again, so when it comes to the patience, again, I'm getting that the patience is for yourself too. So you got to have patience for yourself as well. And I'm getting that forgiveness too for the choices of the people you've made before. For ignoring red flags, for walking into situations blindly, for allowing yourself to be, the word I'm getting is denigrated. I wanted to say like degraded, talked down to, etc. But denigrated is such a strong word. And I also need you to talk more kindly to yourself. Don't regurgitate. Don't be the one speaking the negativity over your own life. So be more kind to yourself. Be more patient with yourself. And in order to get the man you are putting out the energy to manifest, you've got to be the person that you could love. Hold on. Because, you know, the thing is, be the person you want them to be. But that's not what I'm hearing. What I heard is you need to be the person that you could love. You need to be the person who you look in the mirror and you would say, I hear it this way. Yeah, I date her. But not because of anything that you have, like, outwardly, but because of who you are inwardly. I'm getting here that he's not far off, okay? But again, that's relative. He's not far off. I don't like to give time because time is that's a hard one. But I will tell you what I just heard though was within 5 years. And I know that sounds like a long time, but I promise you it's going to be like that. Because in that time, if you're doing the work that you're being called to do on yourself, it's going to go like that. Because the work that you're supposed to be doing on yourself is the kind of work where you don't regret your life. So in other words, you're living, you're doing things. And you know what they say, like when you're having fun, time flies when you're having fun. That's what it is what I see is that you need to be having more fun with yourself and you need to be living. But in order to do that, you've got to be more patient with you. You have to be more patient with you. But he is coming within the next 5 years. I hate to give time, but I heard very clearly within 5 years. And the amount of time that it's going to take is really going to be up to you. You can put gasoline on it and make it go fast, or you can put gasoline on it and make it go fast, or you can hinder it by avoiding doing the work. I feel like that forgiveness message that was just happening was for you. Okay. All right, so you got the Emperor. Okay? This is that man. This is the one that you're looking for. You have that Emperor. Emperor, I'm getting patient. I'm getting kind. I'm getting driven. Understanding. He can see you. Like he can see you. You're not a burden to him. But it's in the reverse. So again, that reverse feels like waiting. Waiting on you to do your work. Waiting on you to show up for you. Because he's holding the king chess piece, right? In the straight up. He's holding the king's chess piece. He's sitting like, what I got was like in front of the sun. But it also feels like the moon. And he's being patient. He's building his empire. And whatever that empire looks like for him. I feel... It's weird. I was going to say firefighter. What was that? I don't know if I give that to you. Because this popped out for him, right? This also popped out for him. So you went from the Emperor to now the King of Cups. And you see the King of Cups, there's this benevolence to them, right? So they're patient, they're kind, they're compassionate, they're understanding. They are filled with their own light. They're not carrying any past baggage that would have them being... I am not reading that many cards. I need you to be clearer. Oh. No. I need you to be clearer, though. Oh. I feel like it tells the story. But he's going to be patient with you, especially as you heal in this time. But I want you to know, like, he's filled with abundance. God, what's happening? Oh, I don't know. Hold on. Why are you all jumping out? Hold on. Wait. Okay, hold on. Let me see something. I think I'm missing something with this Emperor. It feels like I'm missing something. Hold on. Now, with the Light Seer's Tarot, reversals are, again, a shadow. Unchecked power. Okay. Unchecked power, being over pragmatic, rigid, corruption, selfish, defensiveness, a desire for control, being stubborn. Now, in the other way, it would be divine masculine, authority, power. Okay. So, a natural leader. Okay. This was what you had, and the opposite is what you want. And the way that opposite would show up is going to be in the King of Cups. It's going to be a man who is very much in control of his emotions, in control of himself. Hold on. I want to make sure of something. Are you leaving at... I hate to ask questions, but I just got this, and so I'm just verifying it. And you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. You don't have to write a full sentence or anything of that nature. What... You could just put a heart emoji or something. We have an emotionally abusive relationship in the past. Is that correct? It actually feels like upbringing, but hold on. Do you have either you grew up around it or you were in one of an abusive relationship in the past? They weren't the kind of leader that they needed to be. Who you are actually, like, you're trying to get the opposite of who this person was. And yes, he's coming. Again, the leader, emotionally put together, emotionally stable, patient, kind. Like, that's what you would get here. You can put an emoji or something if you don't want to type out a full sentence. I'm just trying to verify. Because I feel some chaos in the background, but I also got fear. And it almost feels like you are afraid to actually fall in love again. You're trying to manifest something, but at the same time, again, there's the negative side to that. It's like there's a fear of getting the wrong, making the wrong choice or walking the wrong path again. Let's double check that. Are you still here, Kelly? I need to verify that. And then we'll continue with that. But what I am seeing is, like, that was in the past. And yes, the man you're manifesting will exist. Again, I got within 5 years the first time here. But you are going to get this guy. And he is a traveler. He is definitely a traveler. And he's a fisherman. And so by... like, he's surrounded by fish. So I see him having his own, I want to say own business. His own consulting business. His own, it feels financial. It feels very financial. It feels like he moves with confidence in the world. He's very sure of himself, and it's like there is no price tag to anything. But I want to say he's done the work, because the light is coming from internally for him. So he is the strength that you'll be able to lean on. He's the strength that you're looking for. He's the emotional safety you're looking for. But he's also this lover of life. And he'll be one of you as well. So the other cards that popped out, and this is why I asked about past relationship, is because this Three of Swords came out, right? And swords is like a mental type of thing. And that's where the fear comes in, is because I feel like there, not just that there's heartbreak, but there's something that like threatened to tear you apart, threatened to like, it made you doubt yourself and your own self-worth. That's why you got those other cards, bro. That feels like your reading. But you have to rebuild your self-trust. You have to rebuild your self-worth, because here you're tied up. You're tied up with the fear. You're tied up with the pain. You're tied up with that loss. You're also blaming yourself for this. And it just feels like a barren land, right? Where there's no hope. And yet you still manage to find it, right? Because now what's really interesting here is that you're like here in the upside down world in a way with the Page of Cups, right? And again, cups are emotions, so you feel like out of balance, out of what's the word I'm gonna use? It feels like upright, it should be dreamer, creativity, all those type of things. But what I'm getting with the story that the cards are telling is that it has left you feeling, I'll say, out of sorts, but like with a foot in hope and a foot in fear. So you're like not all the way there. However, though, there is still the hope, right? Because if you see these hands right here, and they're creating the heart. And again, cups are emotions. And you see us by these waters and things. And so even with that, you still feel the love. You still maintain that there is love there. And it's not a matter of when pigs fly. It's not like you're not going to get it. You will be able to get it. But again, it's going to go back to this right here. This lesson is like letting this lesson diminish in your own heart, so that when you're manifesting, and I really, this is a personal thing. I won't say this is a spiritual thing. I really don't think we should be manifesting people, but we can manifest the energy of the life we want. And that creates, I think, a better attracting force for who you want in your life. Because if you are repelling love, light, if you're repelling that kind of thing, that energy is going to repel. But if you are creating more love, if you're creating more light, if you're creating more joy in your life, that will attract. So to find yourself back in sorts, it is going to be about finding love for yourself, but also allowing that hope to be real hope. Not just, I hope I'm going to get this guy. I hope, like, I don't pin this thing on a guy. Pin this thing on you. I hope that I heal enough. I have more joy. I create more light and love and energy of attraction, not just for another person, but for myself. I want to love me so that when someone comes in, I'll be able to show them how to love me. And the other thing here is, I'm getting, you've been the fool in love before, and that's nothing wrong with that. We are allowed to be the fool. We are allowed to be out of control sometimes. But I'm also getting for you is that this may have been a pattern. And now you're being asked to move a little bit more intentionally. Yes, don't be afraid to fall in love. Yes, don't hold the next person to the pain of the past of the other person. But also, allow it to happen. Be free of that with intention. And the other thing I'm getting here, and this is the final part to the story, is basically riding off into the sunset type of thing. Like, put this love in motion. This love for yourself, this love that you're trying to generate, and that will create this attraction for this person. But again, we don't really focus on the person, but I'm just gonna answer the question the way that you've asked it. But this says that there is going to be victory, that it is going to happen, meaning that you will attract what you're looking for once you become who you're looking for. Once you create more love and light, once you create more hope and joy and happiness, once you allow yourself to dream and not fear that it won't happen, right? And so this is full speed ahead. So again, the timing is going to be on you. The timing is going to be on how long does it take you to do the work. The timing is going to be on how long will it take before you fully release the pain that hurts you so that you can create more joy, more light, more love in your own life. And when you do, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. 2 horses. That's love. That's love. That's love. It's going to happen if you let it happen. All right. Are there any more questions? Oh, we're not doing all that now. Are there any more questions that we can answer for the night? Oh. Are there any more questions that we can answer for the night? If you have a question, just type it in the comments. If not, I'm going to see if this person is coming in or not, because it is getting late. Okay. June bug. Okay, hold on. I heard stop shuffling, so I stopped. All right. Okay. So, I'm hearing I'm here. I heard Annabelle, but I don't know if that's just because I read the name earlier. Hold on. I hear car accident. Tried to make it home before you left. I wanted to see you. Getting a car, Carson. So the person that's coming through, it feels male energy. I'm getting, the story I'm getting is that this person passed in a car accident while they were trying to make it home and see you before you left. Is it for school? Um, I'm just getting that I tried really hard. I tried really hard. Tried to hold on. Tried really hard to stay. Because I didn't want to leave you alone. I'm getting you were like their best friend. So this feels like a relationship then, but I don't want to make that assumption. Hold on. Okay, I just got baseball game, baseball cap. I see him putting a baseball hat on you, so I think this is for a female message. Oh, this feels like big brother, little sister. Little sister, like in stature. I'm not sure of the age, but little sister, like in stature. Um, I'm not sure if this is for anybody here now on this live or who will be watching a replay. I've had a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I've had people when I've done this message me and tell me that that was for them. So let me just repeat what I have so far. Is that there was a car accident. This male feels like in his 20s. 20, like from college? Maybe from college? From somewhere. Like they'd been away. And was trying to make it home. And in trying to do that, they had a car accident. And they tried really hard to hold on for you. They tried hard to stay on this side because they didn't want to leave you alone. You were like their best friend. Like I said, I saw a baseball cap being put on you. The cap would have fit him, but for you, it was bigger. So that's giving me impression, maybe, of being a little sister. Again, if you're watching this on replay, please let me know. Send me a message. I would love to know if this is you. So I'm getting, I had to leave. I had to leave. Okay, so I'm going to just say it the way that I'm getting it, because I tend to have this problem of trying to process what's coming to me. So let me just give it to you how I'm saying it, how I'm getting it. So I had to leave to protect you on the other side. So maybe this is me, not them, but maybe like something happened where they got to block it for you. Like they became like a guardian angel, so to speak, in a way, of like helping you through something, or you got some news. It just feels like they would be able to do more work of protecting you on the other side than they would have here. Because if they stayed in life, they would have been away. They wouldn't have been able to protect you. Oh. Hold on. Oh, I should have said it the way I got it. I just lost it. Hold on. Give it to me again. I'm hearing the song "You Are My Sunshine." Wait, is that somebody else? You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Why would he sing that? Do you hear that, like, in your dreams? Or, like, just have that song pop up in your head sometimes? I'm getting that he looks at you with pride. This does feel like big brother to little sister energy. Like, he's so proud of you. And it feels cliche to say, but, like, I feel him looking at you with pride. He's standing tall. I won't say he's slender. He has a build to him, but it's like a muscular, like, I don't want to say lean either, but like a muscular build to him. And he's tall. Tall in relation to you, but I also just think he's just tall. And I'm feeling maybe around, I don't actually consider this tall, but I'm getting, it was like around 6 feet, 6'2", like around there. But I'm getting like he's tall. And, oh, it feels like he went to the Marines. Marines? Military. Marines. I'm hearing Marines. I feel like I'm getting a second person. Hold on. This doesn't feel like the same person. This doesn't feel like the same person as the brother. No. Because over here, like, he's over here. So this doesn't feel like the same person. This is a different person. All right. So as far as the car accident, the brother, the baseball cap, you were like his best friend. He didn't want to leave you alone. He gets to protect you better on that side. And I get he's still, like, I do get the pride over there. So I do think the sunshine might come with this Marine. All right. So I'm just going to leave you with his love if you watch this on replay. Hopefully this message resonates with you. Just understand that you do have a guardian on the other side who really is looking out for you, and who has looked out for you. I feel like he's already shown up for you. I don't want to say in a dream. You've seen him in a dream, but he's already shown up for you in real life, in a protection thing. And you don't know how it happened. Like, you know something happened, but you're like, how did that happen? Like, I just saw, and this is to help me relate to it. Like, I just saw, like, or I just remembered, like, there was a time when I was walking down these stairs and of my apartment at the time, and those stairs were made out of cement. So and this was like to go outside to my car. So they were made of that, and I missed a step. And this would have been a horrific fall because it was like up at the top. I missed a step. It was just bad. And what ended up happening, though, and to this day I'm still like, how? What ended up happening is I felt a hand push my foot down to the step. And I continued along my way, but I was like, how did that happen? Who did that? Um, and so I feel like he's done that for you already. He's done something that made you go, how did that happen? Now, as for the Marine, um, okay, as far as the brother energy over here, I'm getting goosebumps, so that's telling me that's on the money. And again, if you can receive that, please message me and let me know, because I'm very interested in knowing. Now this Marine here, and I get the little slogan, the few, the proud, the Marines. So he was definitely very proud of what he was able to do. I get him standing very straight, very erect, like, you know, he's doing what the military service makes them do, but he's doing that with pride. Like, he wanted to be a Marine. He actually had dreams of going past the Marines into the SEALs? Whatever is past the Marines. As far as I know Navy SEALs. I don't know what else goes past that. But this would be correlating to the Navy SEALs, like in level, if it's not the same thing. Because, like, why would a Marine go Navy? This is my human self going, I don't understand. Okay? But, this person here, yeah. So he's like the few, the proud, the Marine. This feels sun energy. This is a sun. Because I just got, I'm like showing up for my mother. So this is a sun, the few, the proud, the Marines. I want you to know he passed doing what he loved doing. He passed without a regret. Well, let me change that. He did regret not calling you first. he was going to call you later, and he should have called you earlier. That's a regret. That is a regret, and I got that. Oh Lord. But that's the only regret. I know people like to say that people don't have, our energies don't have feelings on the other side. And while that may as well be true, I'm getting the feeling of what it would have been here. Like, that was literally the flash through his mind. The only regret is, why am I crying? That he wish he called you. So, and he wish he called you more. Anyway, so that's the only regret that I get there. But other than that, he lived his life. He loved his life. He actually, like, really loved his life. I feel like the passing wasn't too long ago, though. Gosh, I want to say within the last 2 years, but again, timing. I don't really like timing. I don't like to do time, but it feels recent. It feels like within the last 2 years. I see flowers. I think you smell the flowers. I'm getting that you've smelled the flowers. You've smelled like this whiff of like roses and lavender, and you didn't have them there. Because I see him like holding these flowers. Now I see him holding the flowers. So he's either like, I get that you did smell them, but I get you also received some just out of the blue, from someone like gave you a rose or something, and you're like, oh, why? Thank you. This is sweet. But it was like, yeah, I know it's sweet. I gave it to you. You don't know he gave it to you, but he gave it to you. So that is, gosh, he's such a mama's boy. Like, he loved you to pieces. Loved you to pieces. Why are you making me cry? And I cannot find my towel. He said you did a great job. You were a great mom. 10 out of 10 recommend. Like, seriously. That's how I just got it, because I wouldn't have said that. But you still are a great mom. There is nothing you could have done differently. There's nothing that he wishes you would have done differently. I don't know why I'm getting Charlie, Carlos. Charlie, Carlos, Charlie. Is it Carlos? I don't know. But yeah, I'm getting there's nothing you could have done differently. There's nothing he wished you had done differently. You were an absolutely great mom. It just was his time. It just really was his time. This is one of the exit points he chose to take. He could have stayed for some later, but he just feels like he's done what he needed to do on this side for now. He'll be back. He's definitely coming back. He's such a thrill seeker. Because I heard like, woo! Like, he's looking forward to actually coming back. But for right now, and it won't be long before he comes back. But for right now, he's just like content, vibing, and chilling is how I got it just now. He said, I can do this a little while longer before going back. But he's looking forward to coming back. And is that it? Is that all you need to give? Yeah, just stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting yourself. He's even saying that you couldn't have called more because of his schedule. So he's really taking that onus on himself. Like, I wish I called more, or I wish I had called her that earlier that day. So he's taking the onus of that. That's not on you. So release yourself from that. There's nothing, like I said, he's a 10 out of 10 recommend. There's just nothing different that he would have taken about the experience of being your son. So the message here then is to stop beating yourself up about it. Like, there's nothing that could have been changed. There's nothing that needed to be changed. He really enjoyed his time with you. And so much so, like I said, he's looking forward to coming back. He's like, if it was not as good as it was, there's no way he would have come back. But he's hoping, I'm getting that he's hoping like there'll be another type of realignment, like as a grandson or something. Or a new neighbor, or somebody to cut your grass. Yeah. He had a great time. He'll be back. And like just think on those good times. Think of his effervescence, his spirit, his larger than life, his gusto, his thrill seeking. And look on those fondly. He'll be back. And that's all it keep hearing, keep saying is he'll be back. He's gonna chill a little longer. He's gonna vibe a little longer, but he'll be back. All right, so I'm gonna leave you with his love, and I'm gonna leave y'all for the night. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. And again, if any of this resonates and you're watching on replay, please send me a message and let me know. I love getting the validation because, as I said, this is my practice. This is just day 6 of me showing up live and doing this. And TikTok keeps giving me violations for some reason. Let's see. This time it is because I'm directing people off the platform, which I am not doing and I haven't done. So, anyway, thanks TikTok. They just want to keep a sister down. It's Juneteenth. Let me free. Anyway, y'all have a beautiful night. Y'all have a beautiful night. This has been fun. Appreciate it. Bye.